Yo, what's going on, guys? This is your boy Trillionaire Mac, and back by popular demand, this is going to be a top-down analysis of one of my favorite asset classes, or assets in general, GBPJPY currency pair. All right, so we're going to break this down from the top down. Okay, I'm going to go through my confluences on the higher time frame and work our way down to, I'll say, the H2 time frame. All right, anything lower than the H2 time frame I save for my mentorship students because that involves entry, getting prepared for entries, things like that. All right, but we will go ahead and break down the direction, what I'm anticipating, what I'm expecting, things like that. So before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right, I would love to have you a part of the family. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, okay? Do not feel pressured whatsoever, but I do have to slide that in there to help out with the algorithm. And feel free to leave a comment on this video if you enjoy the content. Hit that bell notification icon to be updated whenever I upload a new video. Now, I will be doing a live stream on Wednesday of this week, okay, of me breaking down the charts, breaking down the pairs, things like that. I won't be doing too much talking or teaching, so to speak. I may have a couple of students on the call with me, but I will be on mute and just showing you guys my top-down analysis on all my pairs. Okay, we're going to clear the charts on every single asset class and build the analysis from the higher time frame down to maybe the H4 or the H2. All right, so with that being said, sit back, relax, and let's get into it. So with my top-down analysis, I always start off on the weekly time frame just to see what's going on the weekly, what we could possibly be expecting, what we should be anticipating, things like that. All right, so if we're looking on the weekly time frame, we can see that price gives us a breakup structure here to the upside. Okay, this is telling us that price may continue to trade higher. Oh, I forgot I can't necessarily do it like that. So what I'm going to do is, for my breaks of structure and things like that, I'm just going to have a horizontal line, but it won't be necessarily labeled on the weekly time frame, which is, you know, it's completely fine. We don't spend too much time on the weekly anyways. All right, so we see that we have this higher low here, we have this high, we have this higher low, we have this higher high, higher low, higher high, and now price is creating a possible higher low. All right, so what I want to pay attention to is this area here being our previous higher low. Okay, we know that there is demand that comes into the market within this area here. If we're looking at the most recent area where demand has come into the market, okay, we can easily look at this wick here, okay, as a place where demand has come into the market. Price has traded into this area. We do have a wick extending a little lower down below, sweeping this liquidity, mitigating something within this wick here. And then it looks like this next weekly candle that's only been active for a few days now has started to push to the upside. A couple days actually has started to push to the upside. All right, so on the weekly time frame, we are within a valid demand area. Okay, and we could see buyers come into the market. Now on the flip, we also have this here that I want you guys to pay attention to. So here we have resting liquidity below this area for sure. Okay, we have how many lows within this area? Let's go ahead and count them. We have one. Ooh. All right, we have 1, 2, 3. So we have 4 resting lows here. All right, remember, anytime we have equal lows or equal highs, okay, we always have liquidity resting above and below those areas. Right, so anytime you have a high, okay, there's going to be liquidity resting above that area. Anytime you have a low within the market, there's going to be liquidity resting under that area. Anytime you have an area of the market where price taps into multiple times and continues to reject, okay, that means we are going to have a lot of liquidity. And remember, liquidity is just fuel for the market, okay? They're simply just resting orders that the market can sweep in order to fuel the opposite move. Okay, so we have to keep those types of things in mind. Now, not saying that we have to run on this liquidity here, okay, and sweep it. We don't necessarily have to do that, but we must keep in mind that there is liquidity down here. So if price continues to push to the downside, there's nothing to be surprised about. All right, it's simply just trading into liquidity. Okay, I just wanted to put that out there because I do get quite a couple questions on liquidity and things like that. Okay. So let's go ahead and delete this from, this was from the daily time frame or the weekly time frame. So if we go back to the weekly, okay, what you guys are seeing this here. Okay, so that is how spot on this gets because on the daily here, we have it refined already. Okay, so we can go ahead and delete the weekly and let's talk about this refinement area. So this area here, we can see that demand definitely comes into the market or that we have demand down here within the market, okay, at this low. price trades back into this high, okay, this lower high being here. Let's actually go over the market structure first. So we can see that price is creating lower lows and lower highs throughout this area, right? That is what is important to us throughout this entire area, lower lows and lower highs. This is the last low, and this is the last high that price creates before we start to range internally, right? So before we actually take some type of trade, okay, unless we're taking a sell from this region here, before we take some type of, which did play out perfectly, all right, but unless we're taking some type of sell within this area, okay, what we have to do is we have to wait on price to actually break out of this range here, which it's currently in order for us to take a trade. Okay, so let's go ahead and delete market structure now. Now that we have talked about market structure, price is essentially ranging within this zone here. Then what happens? Well, we create this low here. Price taps into demand once again. Okay, then we push to the upside and we create this lower high. We create this higher low here. Okay, and then we create a nice impulse move to the upside, notifying us that there is some type of demand that comes into the market right here. Now, how am I going to refine my demand? Essentially, in this case, I refine my demand to this candle here. Okay, students of mine, you guys should understand why I'm using this candle here. Based on how price has printed within this candle, this is very, very important to me, and this is telling me that there is some type of bank, fund, or institution, okay, that came into the market within this candle here, okay, based on the confluences that we see take place. As well as right after that, we not only had a supply failure with price taking out this valid supply zone here, resting above this previous high that forms, okay, before price started ranging, all right, but we also break the supply, and then right after that, we create this high, also taking out all of this structure here as well. Okay, so this was a very, very important impulse move to the upside. So now what are we waiting on? Now that price is within this region here, okay, essentially, price pushed to the upside and we waited on price to come back to our refined region here. Now, for those of you that are within my Telegram trading community, okay, link is in the description, feel free to join the community. All right, I sent you guys updates even when price was here, right? Even when price was in this area, I sent you guys updates telling you guys we want to see price trade back into this region here. It's not a coincidence that price, you know, follows the analysis that I talked about within the trading community, right? It's not a coincidence at all. It's not magic, it's not voodoo or anything like that. We simply trade how the market moves. All right, so when I tell you guys, hey guys, for this asset, we're going to sit on our hands and wait for it to continue pushing down about 150 pips like it did here. Okay, oh, actually 322 pips. Very, very interesting. Right? Whenever you guys hear me say things like that, then that means that we must wait because there is a reason of why I want price to tap into this region before looking for a possible trade. So now that we understand what's happening on the daily, essentially price wants to continue pushing higher, okay? Whoever came into the market to place buy positions here that created this impulse move to the upside, okay, now that price is coming back to this area, we are anticipating, excuse me, that they are going to protect their position, which means what? Place more buy orders for price to continue to push to the upside, all right? Now let's break this down to the H4 time frame and get into a little bit of the nitty-gritty intraday type of structure. All right, so this is the H4 time frame, all right, and the thing about the H4 time frame that I love is you really don't have to look at previous price, meaning if you're going to zoom out and look at previous price, zoom out in order to either refine a little bit more or zoom out in order to, oh, this is very interesting as well. We actually traded a little lower and a little deeper into this region here. So if we refined this here, it's not bad at all. So essentially it looks like price used this region here as liquidity, continued to push to the downside, and tapped into this region here. It's not bad at all. But anyways, I love looking at the daily time frame for my overall picture, okay? But I love looking at the H4 for relative price action, all right? As well as if I would like to refine some type of supply or demand zone that I'm working within. Okay, but I'm never going to go to the H4 and try to look at the overall picture. The H4 is the lowest macro time frame that I will use. Okay, meaning that if I'm intraday trading, if I'm swing trading, or if I'm day trading, the H4 is definitely a time frame that I'm going to check out pretty much always, right? But it's not necessarily a time frame that holds a lot of weight. All right, if you want a time frame that holds a lot of weight, go ahead and check out the daily or the weekly time frame, which is what this analysis is based upon. All right. So now that we are on the H4 time frame, we know that we have pulled into a valid zone on the higher time frame. Okay. And now we are waiting for our valid entry to form. All right. For those students of mine, you guys know that my trading style is very, very simple and very, very straightforward. Okay, I simply look for a valid zone and then I look for a valid entry. Now, how I choose my valid zones is not really orthodox. All right, I don't really choose my valid zones like other institutional traders. And my valid entry, I use certain confluences that I tie together. Okay, I spent a lot of time studying institutional trading. And by the way, all of this is taught within my institutional trading course, so feel free to go check that out. But there are certain ways that I do things. So now that we're on the H4 time frame, which of course is the lowest time frame that I look for macro moves on. Okay, essentially we have this low here swept. Okay, and I would love to see. So we have this low here swept. I'm gonna place this here. All right, with this move to the downside, and I would love to see us get a change of momentum from this downtrend here back to an uptrend here. All right, so in order to do that, I would love to see price take out these equal highs that we see here. Okay, we know that there's liquidity resting above these areas. We know that it could cause price to continue to push to the upside. But what we want to also keep in mind is that we do have something that is important right here. Okay, so price could use this as liquidity, tap into this region here, and then sell from there. Okay, and continue to push to the downside. Now, if this does happen, then more than likely we will catch a sell position. All right, if it doesn't and price continues to break to the upside, which is what I am personally looking for, okay, such as something like this here. So something like that there. Okay, then I will be looking for price to trade back down into this region here, possibly. Okay, it just depends on what else decides to form within this push to the upside. Okay, and I will be looking for price to trade back into this region and give me a possible push to the upside. Okay, this will be within the Telegram trading community as well. All right, I will keep you guys updated with this move and things like that. All right, but I just want to do a top-down analysis. So we're in a higher time frame demand zone that price may continue to push up from. Okay, and if we look at the H2 time frame, this is absolutely perfect. Right, we see that price sweeps liquidity to the downside. Okay, we could possibly get a change of momentum with a move to the upside. All right, we do have all of these equal highs here. Okay, so I want to see how price is going to interact with this area, whether we're going to continue to blow through and just push to the upside, or whether price is going to sweep this liquidity, tap into this region here, and then continue to push to the downside. All right, so there's multiple things that could happen. We kind of have to be on our P's and Q's within this area, but I wanted to give you guys a little top-down analysis on how I go about things and things like that, basically formulating an entire trade idea. All of your trade ideas, okay, should start on the higher time frame and you work your way down. Okay, you never want to start on the lower time frame and work your way up, because then your entire your footing within the market is going to be a little off. All right, so definitely keep those things in mind. With that being said, I don't want this video to be too long. If you enjoyed the top-down analysis, feel free to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right, I will be looking for possible buy positions if I get all the confluences on GBPJPY to flow through. Okay, and if we don't get that buy position, then we definitely have a possible sell loading here that we can take advantage of if we get the needed confluences within this area. All right, so with that being said, much love for you guys. Just remember, use those higher time frames to develop your trading idea, and it'll be very, very difficult to be on the wrong side of the market. Much love for you guys. Peace out.